If someone stopped you right now and asked, "What are your 3 biggest strengths?" what would you say? For Isla, the question landed like a punch she didn't see coming. She was in a job interview dressed in her best blazer, rehearsed for every scenario. She had answers ready about her experience, her skills, even her weaknesses. But when the interviewer smiled and asked her that one simple question, her mind went blank. She stammered something about being a hard worker and a team player, words she'd heard 100 times but didn't really own, and the silence that followed told her they landed flat. That night, she lay awake replaying the moment. Why was it so hard to name her strengths? She knew what she was bad at. She could list those instantly. But what made her powerful? What set her apart? That felt like staring at an empty page. The truth was, Isla had spent her whole life learning how to fix herself. Teachers circled her mistakes in red pen. Bosses pointed out what needed improvement. She thought success meant patching every hole until there was nothing left to criticize. Strengths? That felt too vague, too indulgent. So when a friend later asked her if she'd ever taken a strengths test, Isla laughed. Those are just personality quizzes, right? Fun for social media, but not real, she brushed it off. Deep down though, she was curious. What if there really was something she wasn't seeing? Weeks passed, and the question lingered. One rainy afternoon, while flipping through her old journal, she found a line she had written years ago. I want to stop feeling like I'm fixing myself and start feeling like I'm using myself. The words stopped her cold. Maybe, just maybe, the key wasn't adding more, but recognizing what was already there. So she crossed the threshold. She signed up for a test, not expecting much, but hoping for clarity. When the results came back, she almost cried. Not because they surprised her, but because they felt like home. They named the things she'd always brushed off as normal. Her instinct for empathy, her ability to see patterns where others saw chaos, the way people opened up around her. She had dismissed these as nothing special, but suddenly they weren't invisible anymore. Of course, embracing them wasn't instant. At first, Isla second-guessed. Was empathy really a strength? Didn't it just make her too sensitive? Was noticing patterns really worth anything? Her old doubts whispered, "Don't get ahead of yourself, you're not that unique." But slowly, she tested them. She started leading projects differently, leaning on her ability to connect people, weaving narratives that helped colleagues see the bigger picture. Meetings shifted, feedback changed. For the first time, she wasn't just trying to keep up, she was leading in a way that felt effortless. Then came the inmost cave, a high-stakes presentation with executives. Her role was to explain a complex initiative in a way that everyone could understand. The night before, fear pressed hard. Her mind whispered, "Don't say it. You'll mess it up. Just play it safe." But something smaller, steadier said, "Now, trust what's yours." She walked into that room, not trying to be everything, just herself at her strongest. She told the story, connected the dots, drew people in. And when the meeting ended, the VP leaned across the table and said, "You made this clear in a way no one else could." That moment was her reward. Not applause, not a promotion, though both eventually came. It was the shift inside, the realization that her strengths weren't weaknesses waiting to be patched. They were her power, waiting to be used. From then on, Isla stopped answering "What are your strengths?" with clichés. She knew them, named them, and lived them. And as challenges came, a tough client, a sudden team conflict, she no longer scrambled. She leaned on what was hers, and it carried her through. Because once you see your strengths, you can't unsee them. So let me ask you, if someone asked you right now to name your 3 greatest strengths, could you? Not your skills, not your job title, but the things that make you, you. And if the question feels hard, maybe that's the real clue. Maybe your answer is still waiting to be found.